The Herd, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. Live in Los Angeles, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, FS1. Christine Leahy is joining me. Joel Klatt in a couple of minutes. Good to be here. Good to be here.
How was your dinner last night?
It was good. A lot of different stuff, mostly note-taking for stuff I'll talk about before the draft. The two things that the person I went to dinner with last night, the NFL GM, said, it's a very good draft class outside of wide receiver. The second thing is nobody's got their board done yet. Those are my big takeaways. He goes, you media guys are crazy. You got everybody's board, all the picks memorized. He goes, two things, great draft this year, not real good at wide receiver, great draft. The second thing this person said was, nobody has their draft board set yet. We're all still making determinations, getting video, getting clips, getting scouting, everybody's meeting. That last 7-8 days is when you really burrow it down. So this is interesting. So, I've made the comparisons, Baker Mayfield and Johnny Manziel. Not only because they played with very profound offensive coaches, not just because they had really good wide receivers and really good systems, same part of the country, profound college guys, but they're kind of the same height, the headband, the cockiness. Now, I do think Baker's a better pure passer, and I think Johnny was a better actual athlete, but not a great passer. So there's differences, but I think there's a lot of similarities. They're cocky, they're profound, they got a chip on their shoulder, the headband, the style, they like to make plays out of the pocket. But I think Baker's a better thrower of the football. That's why I don't believe he'll be a bust. He won't. And Johnny Manziel was not a great thrower of the football, but he was more athletic, a little faster, a little twitchier. Okay. But I've always been very serious about quarterbacks and point guards, is that I hold you to a higher standard. You need to be a grown-up. I don't have time for you to mess around. You're going to come in at 22 years old, and I'm giving you the keys to the franchise. Dez Bryant can come into the NFL with the Dallas Cowboys, not be mature, need constant security. I can live with that. I don't care about Wonderlic scores for anybody, except quarterback. It's something. It's not everything, but it's something. Are you cognitively excellent? Are you mature? This is why I said Russell Wilson. I met him when he was 23, and I said, forget star quarterback. He's going to be the next commissioner of the National Football League. So one of the reasons I said, don't draft Johnny Manziel, I thought he was a twitchy athlete. I thought he was interesting. I thought he was talented. I thought he was a real athlete. I said, he's not a grown-up. Boy, was that confirmed this morning when he was on Dan Patrick's show. Here was Manziel this morning on DP.
If Cleveland did any of their homework, they would have known that I was a guy that didn't come in every day and watch film. I was a guy that didn't really know the X's and O's of football. I played in a spread offense.
Wow. So you bombed in Cleveland, and now it's their fault. Wow. Stop talking. You literally bombed. Go wreck this league. And you're blaming Cleveland. Can you imagine if I came here and I'm 2.5 years in, literally had no viewers, and me go, Fox should have known I had no work ethic. That's not on me. That's on Fox. They should have known I was really hard to get along with. I don't show up. Sometimes I come in with a hangover. I don't barely even care about sports. They should have known. Are you kidding me? So Johnny Manziel, hey, man, they should have known. This is why I said don't draft him. These little things, drip, 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 drip. So now let's segue into Baker Mayfield. Grabbing his junk, police video. I don't like it. Don't like it. Throwing a football during a game at TCU players. Don't like it. I've got another piece of video. Don't roll it yet. I've got another piece of video I don't love. It's not everything, but it's something. So quarterbacks, the team rallies around them. They talk in huddle. They audible at the line. The players look and listen for the quarterback. And when teams score, the quarterback, it's understood. You go over and you thank your left tackle, and you thank your wide receiver. That's why quarterbacks buy gifts for their offensive linemen. We are a team. Quarterback gets the love, gets the girls, gets the money, gets the fame. Great quarterbacks always go over. after touchdown. Every touchdown. Want to thank my guys. Left tackle, eye contact. Gronk, look at you. That's what Aaron does. That's what Tom does. Look at this piece of video. Baker Mayfield, biggest game of his career, Ohio State. Heck of a play, runs out of the pocket. Throws it, touchdown. Look where the team goes. Look where Baker Mayfield goes. By himself off to the right. Flex his muscles in front of the band. Baker Mayfield. Nice little play here. Scooch left, touchdown. The team's all about to celebrate. Biggest touchdown of the year, Ohio State in Columbus. Where's Baker? Oh, no. Baker's instincts are, hey, I'm going to go in front of the cameras. Band, flex. Only player goes to the other side of the field. Baker is into Baker. It's not everything. It's something. It's something. I didn't like Tebow. Tebow didn't do that. You know who did this after some touchdowns at Texas A&M? Johnny Manziel. Don't like it. Let's bring on a man who likes Baker Mayfield. In fact, with his top 5 quarterbacks in the draft, my man Joel Klatt has him comfortably situated ahead of Rosen, ahead of Allen, ahead of Mason Rudolph, ahead of Lamar Jackson. Joel Klatt, what do you make of that piece of non-grainy video?
You are such fake news. It's not even funny. I'm telling you, that was the most egregious one of them all. Like, I get it, the police video and the crotch grab. I get it. Like,
you don't like it either.
I don't like it either, certainly. But this is absolutely reaching. Absolutely reaching. Yeah, I get it. Okay, we're showing the video. Here he goes. He's going to sprint over kind of in front of the band and go over to the sideline. Do you know which touchdown pass that was? He threw 3. Do you know which one that was?
Third.
It was his 3rd touchdown at Ohio State in an incredible second half. Do you know what he did on the first 2 touchdowns?
What?
Oh, wait. You don't know?
Yeah, probably had to sacrifice and go hang out with his teammates.
You don't know what happened? Oh, let me show you what happened. Here's his first touchdown pass. Touchdown at Ohio State. Where's he going? Yes, sir. Wait. Right to his teammates. Boom. Coaches, teammates. There's teammates. High-fiving, screaming, way to go. I'm not going to miss that high five. Way to go. There's a left tackle right there. Going back. There's a wide receiver. Colin, why didn't you show that?
Because that's expected. I don't show.
But you just told me he's into himself.
No, I didn't say on.
Oh, this is the second touchdown pass. We're not done here. This is the second touchdown pass. You bet. Fired up. This is the one they take the lead. This is their big comeback. They've got all the momentum. Couple of coaches. There's Riley. There's his teammates. Well,
it's called the sideline.
Is he not with his teammates?
Wasn't going to go over to Ohio State sideline. I mean,
is he not with his teammates?
Well, I mean, at some point he does have to walk. He actually isn't with his teammates on the field.
Oh my goodness!
He goes over to.
Do you know what confirmation bias is?
Well, I'm not saying I don't have some of that.
Some. I would say that you're like prototype. This is what it is, all right? The tendency to interpret new evidence as confirmation of one's existing beliefs or theories. That is like, you should just put your picture up there right now with Baker Mayfield and your confirmation bias. It's out of control. Here's why. I'm not just going to state that without giving you some evidence why. It's because there's mountains of evidence that he isn't the guy that you're talking about. Okay, when you talk with his teammates, when you're around his practices, which I have been countless times, you see that his teammates not just love him because he's the quarterback, but they love him because he works hard. They love him because he's in there. He's helping develop young players. He's a great gym rat. He's schematically very smart on the board. You'll hear that from several GMs and decision makers. Not anything like Manziel.
He's 2 years older than everybody.
He threw tons of touchdowns. His touchdown-interception ratio was one of the best in college football. For 2 straight years, he set the efficiency record all time in college football. Last year, in the second half of one-possession games, he threw 11 touchdown passes. Guess what? All the other quarterbacks in the draft right now, in the top 6 quarterbacks, no one threw more than 4. I mean, what is that? He was 7-0 at Oklahoma as a starting quarterback against ranked opponents on the road. But you want to throw all of that away because you've got one video of him running away from the celebration?
I don't have one video. I got a police video.
But I told you I'm
video.
with you on the junk video.
I got junk. I got police. I got run into the band. By the way, Johnny Manziel, 90% of the Johnny Manziel video he's a great teammate. But there was a lot of this stuff.
No.
A lot of this stuff. Money stuff. And I said before the draft, it wasn't a big deal. But when Johnny Manziel got drafted and did this on the set, I'm like, I know it only lasted 1 second. It's something. You don't see Aaron Rodgers, and you don't see guys.
I mean, I see Aaron Rodgers flashing the championship belt
right next to his teammates.
I mean, I see Tom Brady running out of the tunnel without his helmet, while every other New England Patriot has their helmet on.
Oh, he has to wear his helmet.
I'm just saying,
That's
it's
a little
something,
picky, Joel.
Colin. It's something.
A little picky.
It's something.
Even I'm gonna go
I'm
with
just
it.
saying that you want so badly to fit him into your narrative that I feel like you're not viewing a lot of the evidence, because there's mountains of evidence that suggest that he's going to be just fine.
I'm the Washington Post of sportscasters. I am the journalist. And so the Washington Post, when they get new information, they give it to the public.
I mean, a couple of the headlines from the Washington Post this last week, and I don't think you want to be claiming that you're from the Washington Post.
All right, let's go to your mock draft, your 13th mock draft in the last 4 days. But I do like this one. I will say this.
The fourth in the whole process.
Okay, but I will say this, and I'm just going to say this. And I like him as a kid. But as I get new information, and this is what I do. I'm in the information business, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You have a lot of confirmation bias. I don't know if the opinion comes before the information or if it's the information and then the opinion.
This is an incredibly...
I know. I'm hammering on you. I know.
That's okay. It's an incredibly deep running back draft.
Yeah.
I can't take Saquon Barkley in the top 10. I'll say it right now. I love the kid.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
There are a few things that you've been spot on today. And one of them that you said, and you kind of passed over it, and you talked about having dinner with a source in the league. And you talked about, it was very brief, you said, really deep running back draft. I mean, spot on. That it is really deep at running back. And Barkley is an interesting case because he has now become the guy in the draft that is off limits. Like, you cannot criticize Saquon Barkley or have an opinion that is less than amazing about Saquon Barkley. And I get it. He's a phenomenal kid. I love Saquon Barkley as a player, as a person, getting to meet with him before some of those games. I love him. I really do. I would love him on my team. Now, you have to take that with also some of the evidence. Again, like, let's collect all the evidence.
Data.
What would you say if I told you that if you took every carry last year and you bore it out as a batting average, like the percentage of carries that went 4 or more yards?
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
That's a real,
because you're
okay,
playing
that's a
good
percentage.
opponents, bad opponents,
Sure.
bye week, no bye week.
If I told you his batting average was 470, 47%, 470.
What do you mean?
47% of his carries went 4 or more yards.
So less than half of his
Less
carries.
than half.
went
All the other backs in this draft are way over 500. Well over 50%. All the backs in the last 3 years that have been drafted in the first round, well over 500. In fact, the lowest back that was drafted in the first round in terms of their percentage of carries that went 4 or more yards was 519. Okay, so 51%. So he's 4% lower than that. The FBS average was 471. He was 470. Well, you could say, well, he's a home run hitter. Okay, let's look at that then. What does the evidence tell you about the home runs? Because we saw some of the highlights, and they're phenomenal because he's so explosive. Percentage of carries that went 10-plus yards. That's going to give it to us, right, Colin?
That's a big chunk.
That's a big one. His average was about 13. It was 134 if you're taking it as a batting average. 134. Guess what the FBS average was?
All players, all backs.
All backs across college football.
What?
134. He was the lowest of any of the backs in this year's draft that are considered top 6 or 7 backs. In fact, their average was much higher, above 150. Okay, so you're talking about 15% or higher. If you look at all the backs that were drafted in the first round, if you're looking at Ezekiel Elliott and Christian McCaffrey and Leonard Fournette and Gurley and all of these guys, their big runs percentage of 10 or more was all over 150, so 15% or more. So he falls below some of these thresholds if you're just talking about running back numbers that I think you got to pay attention to if you're some of these teams. I will state this again because I know this can get edited up in a lot of different ways. I love him as a player.
But you don't want to pick him. I'll say it for you. I'll say it for you. I have a dinner last night with a GM, and I posed it to him. I just said, what do you make of this draft? He goes, bad wide receiver, outrageously deep at running back.
It's really good. Can I just list a few of them that people aren't talking
Let's
about?
talk about the kid up at Oregon.
Royce Freeman is a really quality back.
230 and can run. Nobody's talking about him.
Rashad Penny from San Diego State. I've had 2 different head coaches in the National Football League tell me they think he is a home run. Okay, that verbatim. Home run player.
You can get him in the 3rd round.
You might be able to get him in the middle 2nd round. I think Geis is a really solid player. Both Georgia backs are tremendous players.
Yeah.
Ronald Jones is a tremendous player. And all of those guys had averages that were much higher than Saquon Barkley in the categories that I spoke of earlier. Percentage of runs that went 4 or more yards and percentage of runs that went 10 or more yards.
Yeah, Nick Chubb's really good.
Really good.
Really good at Georgia.
Really good.
And by the way, he went up against those SEC defenses for 2 years and ate them alive.
Yeah.
Like Nick Chubb ate the SEC alive.
Hey, guess who did really well against ranked opponents his whole career?
Oh, Jesus.
Baker Mayfield.
Okay,
that's just some of the
Let's
evidence.
just show the video one more time.
Video. The
No.
one shred of...
Okay, well, I just got one police video with him, too. All right, let's show the video. You're a quarterback. Go back to pass. Biggest touchdown of your career. Teams like, Baker, we love you. Come and give us a high. Where's Baker Mayfield going? Takes her right off the interstate. Gonna go over and flex in front of the TV cameras.
Okay, listen with your confirmation bias and your selective evidence. Let's show the first 2 touchdowns.
You know what? We lost that video. It got stuck in the tape machine.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
We're just going to disregard that.
We got a lot of commercials.
The first
on
2
show.
touchdowns bore no evidence whatsoever.
This
in your
show's
mind.
very popular. A lot of commercials we have to get to.
Hey, I get it.
Joel Klatt. Good
Love
seeing
it.
you.
You too, bud.
Hiring. Every business needs great people, and a better way to find them. Something better than posting your gig online and praying for the right people to see it. ZipRecruiter knew there was a smarter way, so they built a platform that finds the candidates for you. Okay? So what ZipRecruiter does, they have matching technology. They know what you're looking for, and then they identify the people that have the experience, and then they invite those people to apply to your job. Well, that's why 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a candidate in a day. They get a quality candidate in a day. And ZipRecruiter doesn't stop there. They even spotlight the strongest applications you receive so you never miss the perfect match. Right candidates are out there. You just got to find them. Do it for free right now. Free. ZipRecruiter.com/herd. H-E-R-D. Smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter's got the new matching technology. ZipRecruiter.com/AERD.
UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. Messi and Barcelona.
Barcelona finally break through.